All right. So I just saw someone else come in. Who came in? What's your name? Sydney Long. Okay. So let me go over here and put your attendance on. Which I don't think this has any information but names. No, it doesn't. So that'll be all right. Okay. All right. So how many have been into Canvas already for this course? Okay. Is there anyone that does not know how to get into Canvas? Because if it's your first semester or something. Okay. So here in Canvas, I gave you a welcome announcement here. And the way I'm going to try to do this class is that because we meet on the Wednesdays, anybody in digital marketing that's in here? Oh, you're in that class? Okay, so you've got Stu Kent, so you'll be familiar with that. So he has digital marketing on Monday nights and then this on Wednesday nights. So you'll be familiar with Stu Kent. We use the curriculum. If you haven't clicked on the link to it, which is in here. In the start here, it tells you, welcome, read me first. Here's a little bit about myself and organization of the course. Here's my office schedule. This is if you do want a Zoom meeting, there's the link. And here is where you go to purchase the course. And with this, you actually will have access to this curriculum for life. And the reason that's a big thing is because how social media and the way it works and digital marketing changes constantly. And so they keep this textbook, this ebook, updated every 6 months and sometimes sooner. And that's why they don't print it. It's all an ebook because it's impossible to stay current otherwise. So this is what we're going to be using. We're going to be using Mimic Social, which they use Mimic Pro in digital marketing. But this is going to be like you're in a live business, and you're going to be, anybody remember the Sims programs? Like, you know, the games, Sims games? Well, that's what this is like. This is you are going to mimic a business, a corporation, and you're going to run the social media for that business weekly. And so you're going to learn how to use the scheduler. There's a lot of things that you will be able to actually be a social media marketing manager by the time you finish Mimic Social. And if you haven't looked at the jobs that are available in that area, it's pretty amazing. And so anyway, those are the things that we're going to be doing in here. But if you haven't yet purchased the book, you will need to do that right away because chapters 1 and 2 are already assigned before next Wednesday. Okay, so here's what it will look like once you purchase it. You'll submit your email here, and it I don't know if it'll show me here how much it costs. You can also buy an access code at the bookstore. You can do it either way. I don't know if it costs any more at the bookstore or not. Most things do, but. So this is Stu Kent. And Stu Kent, yeah, I wore a t-shirt with that on that they sent me, and people kept saying, why did they misspell that word? But it really is Stu Kent, and it's actually in Montana is where they are at. That's what you're seeing this picture of. But when you log in, when you create your login, let's see, here's what it is. I'm instructor, so it comes up with your course will be over here, and so the students that have logged in, I can see. Did it let you into it, Ethan, even though you didn't pay yet? It did? Okay, so it'll let you in, but probably not for very long. Right. Okay, I see Odessa already has an Ashton. Okay, so when you get in there, there are 2 products. This is the textbook, and this is the Mimic Social. And we don't do anything with this until I tell you. It'll be about 3 weeks. We'll go in and actually do a round in class. Okay, so you don't have to know how to do that yet. So we're going to start into chapter 1. And the way it's set up, the way this book is set up, there will be the chapter here and the learning objectives, and these are all the sections that are in chapter 1, but they're short. You'll see how short it is. See, like a page or something like that. They're not, and you can just go from page to page like this. I'm trying to see if this one, let me see. We're going to go through some of it. Yeah, today, because I know you won't have, but see down here in the bottom are the careers that are in social media marketing. And at the end, you will take this quiz. And it's just over that portion that you just read. And so you will take the quiz, and it will not show up in Canvas. I have to transfer it over to Canvas. So don't look at it for it to be in Canvas. And then on some chapters, like for instance, chapter 2, which is also assigned before next time, chapter 2 has an expert session here. Okay, and there may be more than one, which in this chapter there's quite a few, but I tell you in the assignment which one to do, and it's a video about experts in the field, and then you'll see there's a link that says expert session and quiz. And so when you get finished, there's a quiz for it. They're all only about 10 questions, I think, and you download it. And the difference here with this quiz is that it's not online. So if you don't have access to a printer, you just look at it and type the answers in a document and submit that document, okay? So if you have a printer and you would prefer to print it out and circle the answers, then take a screenshot and submit that. That's acceptable also, okay, either way. And so you don't have one of those until chapter 2. And then what I tell you is I say any expert sessions that you do in addition to the assigned one, it's extra credit, 5 points extra credit, and they're worth like 10 or something like that. Okay, so let me go back over here. Is there anybody in here that this is your very, very first semester? Oh my goodness, all of you all are multimedia majors too? Okay, so Canvas may be a little new to you also. So anytime I go too fast or you have questions, you're probably not the only one. So be sure and ask. There's never any dumb questions, not in my class. So I will try my best to answer any questions that you have. So I've switched back and forth. So that's probably really confusing. Here is Canvas, and that's where all of your assignments are posted, but your actual curriculum is in Stukent. Okay, so once are you Odessa? Are you one of the ones that purchased it already? No. No? Okay. Who's Odessa? You have. Okay. So there was somebody else. I can't remember who that was. Okay, so what you were to have done, and if you haven't done this yet, it's no problem. You'll notice in my welcome here, it says, please complete the AW assignments. If it's your first semester, you might not know what AW is, or you may have already had classes that explained it, but AW stands for administratively withdraw. Well, because this is a hybrid class, you really don't have to worry about it. If you attended tonight, you will not be withdrawn from the course automatically. So if you get to a point where you're not doing the work, just know that I can't withdraw you, okay? So the reason that's there is because a lot of times online students, they don't do the things for me to know if they're in class. But you'll notice that I have a meet the class part 1 because we are hybrid and we don't really have time in the first time or two to go around and get to know each other. Then we have this meet the class discussion. Who else done that? Anyone done it yet? You've done yours? Okay. So you will want to done in others. Okay, so you'll go in and do that, and then you comment on a couple of other posts from other students. And that gives you, that's part of the participation grade. And you also need to upload a photo to your Canvas profile. And there's a tutorial here if you don't know how to do that, that shows you how to do that so that I can match faces to names, because I only see you all once a week instead of twice. Okay, so it makes it a little harder. Then I have a part 3, which I don't ask you in the Meet the Class, but I want to know some of your background, and I'm going to ask you tonight some of that too. So it may be a little repetitive. I left this in here for teaching it online too. So, and I don't have the opportunity to meet people. The instructor information is in the instructor discussion area, but this is where my office hours are. Let me make sure that I've uploaded the correct one here. Oh, I hope I did, but it's not. Let me go here and get it. Oh, I didn't pull my. Should be the correct one. Yes. Okay. And they changed the way we do our office hours, so it's kind of hard to read here. So I'm going to go through it a little bit just to show you. But basically, I'm here 2 hours a day for office hours, and they're listed right up here at the top. Oh, come on, quit spinning. What is this? How many of you have never ever used a Mac before? Anyway, okay. If you need some help, I will be glad to help you with that. But Macs, you'll notice I love Macs. I was a programmer for 13 years before I started here, and I thought that Macs were ridiculous. But in 2006, I started using a Mac, and now I never turned back. So this will be a new experience for you, but I promise it's not painful. It's not hard. If you haven't used a Mac, it's really easier, and I'll show you how to get around on it. But if you want to use since this is a social media class, I don't force students to use the Mac, but if you're getting a multimedia digital design degree, you will want to have some experience in the Mac platform. That's why we have some classes taught here and some in a Windows environment. I don't know why that's doing that. Okay, so here's my office hours: Monday 12:15 to 2:15, Tuesday 10 to 12, Wednesday 1:45 3:45, Thursday 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. But I'm here all these other hours, all the ones in blue right here. I'm also, and so if there is other times like after class that I ever need to say, this is the only time that I teach in the evening though, and so you know, I can set up other times if I need to, and I always do Zoom meetings with students at home, so that's not a problem. So there's my classes that I teach, and you'll notice it's the only day I teach 4 straight classes, so, and I have these online. Okay, so if you have any questions, just let me know. My office, if you don't know where it is right downstairs on the opposite hall, almost about the middle of the hallway there, BS 114. And I would rather you email me than phone calls. I listen to the phone call on here, but I don't usually answer the phone calls because a lot of times I'm not even in there. I think that that's someone wanting to register, but I have to call them back. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let me go and see where the syllabus, that was the other thing. So these things where I'm at right now is inside Canvas. Okay. And that will have all your due dates and kind of what we're doing each week. And some things were messed up, like Ethan showed me before, because I think they're fixed now. Did you look the dates on those quizzes?
Oh,
Yeah, they're fixed.
They're fixed. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I was like, why does that say July?
Yeah, that was my summer class. I didn't get some of the dates changed. Okay, so in the syllabus here, it gives you a course description of social media marketing. And those of you that are in multimedia digital design and it's your first semester, you may say, why do I have to take this course for graphics? Well, let me tell you, social media right now is full of graphics, right? Full of graphics. So what does that tell you about if you're a graphic designer as far as becoming marketable? If you can do graphics and you understand social media, there's more to design than just designing the way a graphic looks, but designing the social media platform where it is a marketing tool, not a the tool that young people have used it for. It's used for marketing. And you know, a lot of people come in, they say, well, I don't know anything about social media. Then there's those that say, oh, I know everything about it, so this will be an easy class. Well, I'm just telling you that you probably have not ever used social media the way it is here, unless you have a business that you are marketing. Anybody in here have that? Anybody marketing with a business yet? Okay. So that's what this is about. This is about using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, those types of social media in order to market a product or a service. And because you might not have that yet, that's what Mimic Social is about. You're going to have a company and you're going to have a budget each week to use on social media ads. And you're going to be ranked against everybody else in the class. And you're going to get to see how your posts attract people or don't attract people to your business. Because you want to sell things. That's what social media is about. And so, see, now, you know, it's used, originally it was used just for, like when Facebook was created, was just for communicating with people. But now it, you know, you probably get marketed every time you go on, right? Every time you go on. So we're going to see the strategies to use, and something that you'll learn, we're going to talk about here in chapter 1, is that most businesses are in trouble because they don't really know how to create a social media marketing strategy to actually make it work for them. So here's the course objectives. You're going to actually learn to create a marketing campaign. You're going to learn to use influencer marketing strategies. You're going to be able to write up an employee advocacy program, social media policies, social media advertising on each social network. You're going to write up a policy for that. Social selling, social media analytics, and measuring return on investment. Now, we're not going to do a whole lot of this in here because the analytics portion, if you want to be ranked higher, you're going to learn how to read the analytics, and they're not hard to read. They're just little bar graphs that show whether yours is doing good or not. Okay, so then here is where it talks about the textbook, Essentials of Social Media Marketing by Michelle Chiarello, but you can't get to it here. You have to go to that link outside of the syllabus. Now, here are the percentages for the different groups of assignments. All of the quizzes, there are actually 18 chapters in the little ebook that's out there. And so they'll be worth 15% of your grade. Then you will do an assignment, probably it's about midterm, I think, after chapter 10, where you'll do this blog assignment, and it's worth 10%. There are 2 exams, a midterm and a final exam that covers the chapter information, okay? And that's what that 25% is. Participation's 5%. That's the meet the class and social media experience. Personal brand is something that we actually, that assignment is this first week, but it's not due the start of it till next week. And then you'll see that the Mimic Pro, when we get into that, that's worth the most points in your, the highest percentage in your grading. So when you, as far as attendance, I take attendance just because I'm required to for the administrative purposes, but also if your grade is like say an 88.9 or something like that, then if you have attended, I'm going to push you on up, okay? If you decide not to attend and you watch the videos, I have no problem with that. It's just that this is the one time that's allotted for if you have questions and things. This is when, if you don't attend and you are flooding me with, I don't know how, I can't do it, you know, then that tells me that you didn't at least attend the class that we're having. But I'll help you otherwise. If you come to class and you're doing the work, then you can ask me anything. Okay, so submitting assignments. When you submit, be sure that you're always submitting either a Word document or a PDF or an RTF, which is, you probably don't even know what that one is, but PDF and docs are the best way to submit those quizzes or papers, anything that I have you do. I don't want any printed paper. Everything will be submitted through the Dropbox, or they're not called Dropboxes, the submit assignment. Let's see, communication through email is the best way. And if you haven't gotten your email set up, this tells you how to do that, but also there's a place on the main website for student logins. This is the PDF link to the syllabus addendum that we're required to put on there by law. And so if anyone has any kind of disabilities, they need to go see Janet Griffith and she will fill out a form for you that you'll turn into me. And that's something that needs to be done in the first couple weeks of class. And then let's see, there's some other legal things in there if you want to look at it, but I'm not going to go through it. Okay, so any questions on the syllabus part or where to find it? Okay, so then let me go down. If you always go to the home, you shouldn't need to go anywhere else because all the modules and everything are right here. And this read me first might help you with some of the things that I've covered. There's the welcome announcement, which we looked at. There's the syllabus. There's if you want to purchase the book there. The virtual cafe is a discussion where I don't normally monitor it, and you can ask each other questions. It's kind of like an open discussion. And then this is where the information about myself is at. So let me go back. So if you always go back to the home, you'll be where you can see everything that you need for the class. Now, these resources are things that, these are websites that I suggest that you subscribe to, because if you're going to be in marketing at all, this is the area, or in graphic design, this keeps you current with everything, and also this ebook. So all right, so let me go back. Okay, so for what I was saying for the quizzes, like chapter 1 here, you don't actually have to do anything. It just tells you, because there's not an expert session, it just says read chapter 1 and take the chapter quiz. And for this particular one, you have nothing to submit because you take the quiz over in Stu Kent. Okay, you want to understand? Questions? Okay, and so then for chapter 2, you'll notice that it is worth more points. It says 22 points, because here you read chapter 2 and take the chapter 2 quiz, and for some reason it's 12 instead of 10 questions. and then listen to the first expert session and take that quiz, download it, print it, mark your answers, and upload here. So now remember, I said you can just view the quiz and then you can type up a Word document. The thing is, if you watch the expert session and you answer the quiz questions, be sure you type at the top of your document which quiz it is, because I don't have any way of knowing if you do extra ones, which one it is, okay? So write the title at the top, and then like they always have 10 questions. And some of them are actually, I found out, are online too. They're through Survey Monkey or something. And so if that's the case, what you do is take a screenshot and submit that. It'll already have your score on it. Okay, so you take a screenshot, and if you don't know how to do a screenshot, you need to let me know. It depends whether you're in Windows or on a Mac. And so you will submit that. This one will have a submit button. Let me go back to where I'm in student view so that those of you that haven't ever used Canvas, we can make sure that it looks right. Okay, so if you're in chapter 2, you see it says submit assignment. So you would read this, and when you had, yes, Ethan.
There's some people back there that are having trouble with making their account. They keep saying valid password when they're actually creating their account.
In where?
In Stupid.
In Stupid. So did you pay for it?
I do, yeah.
You did already pay for it?
They're creating an account and saying valid password. There's something that they're creating.
Write your name, let me see. But they have a help like that. Did you already do yours?
Yep.
And yours let you in right there?
I already have it. That's it.
Digital marketing. No. So what did you do?
That's creating an account, that's not logging in.
But see, that screen thinks that you're next create your new account.
Yeah.
So what kind of password do you have?
I just put in they just put in a password.
Let me go over to Stu Kent and see if I can see anything. So what kind of, are you putting any kind of special characters? Does it tell you anything like that?
It tells you to add uppercase, lowercase, has to have 8 characters, and then it has to have like a special symbol.
No, but it says you just read it. So I just did the numbers.
And yours, and did yours work?
No. It's the same thing with hers.
Okay, let me see if you're in there. Let me see if I can. Let me go back. See, I don't even think you have to put it. Does your phone number say it's required?
It has a part like a little hyperlink that says why. And I guess it'll explain why you need to have to.
So Odessa, you were able to do yours, and Ashton, you didn't have. You didn't have any trouble either? So is your screen the same? Let me see. Letitia, did you sign in?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've created a password and everything? I wonder if you got in an old did you click, which link did you click on? Did you do the one in home? Let me see. I didn't email one. Did somebody email one?
No, it's on, or I guess it's on Canvas. They'll read me first. And then
I'm hoping that you didn't get a wrong link. I've had that happen before. I've had students get a wrong link somehow because I had it in 2 places. Oh, let's see. Let me go. Okay, what I'm going to do, let me do this. Let me add your email and send you the link this way. But if you already purchased it, that's the bad thing. Okay, what's your name? What's your name? Yeah. Oh, Sydney. Okay. Sydney Long at raider.rose.edu. And then what's yours that's next to you? What's your name?
Brandon Lee.
Oh, Brandon. BRANDYN, right? Dash Lee, is there any for your email address? And doesn't have any numbers after it, right? Sometimes it'll have a. Oh, that's great. Multiple email addresses. You may also want to invite email clip poster options to register via that. Add email address first. Okay, I'm going to email this link here to you guys through Canvas and see if this is the same link. I don't know if that's what happened. Otherwise, we're going to have to call Stu Kent, which they answer immediately. They're very good support. Let me go here. Let's see. Oh, I'm not going to get Let me see. Huh. It's still saying invalid password to you. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. That would be Sydney and okay, I just sent you guys an email to your writer email, or it's actually in Canvas. See if that link, where that link takes you. Otherwise, I'm gonna let me find the number first again. Did you get the link already?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to put all of yours. Okay, you got all your stuff still in here?
I just click on
Put everything back. Oh, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna have to call them on those two. There's something they did, I don't know. Let's do Kindle. Let's do Kindle Publix right then. Their time zone is later than ours too. But let me see if I can find where. That is too weird. Yeah, I do know some people, but what had happened to them is they had gotten in the wrong one of my older classes. Okay. Let me see something here. I will send an email right now to support, and then they'll probably tell me before we get done. And it's Sydney Long and Brandon Lee. Okay, let's see. Let me
Okay. All right. So I've sent an email, so we'll see. I should be able to hear back from them shortly. Okay. So we were over here in, let me make sure that I got through all of this. Okay. So with the Canvas here and the quizzes, there's one other thing that let me go over before, so that in case, well, we got 30 more minutes, but you'll notice that here I have a drop box for any expert sessions. So if you want to do any of the extra ones, anytime in the semester, the extra sessions you would just submit here. Okay, so if like the quizzes for any of the expert sessions, this will always be there, and you can just, there's no time limit on that because there's different expert sessions, and they're all good. I've listened to most all of them. And then this personal brand sheet is part of the assignment, is in chapter 2. And so let me go ahead and see how far we get through chapter 1, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about, probably maybe 5 minutes or so before class is over, we'll talk about this, because this one's not actually due till the end of the 3rd week. But when you read chapter 2, you're going to see some things that will make it make more sense when you're doing it. You're going to do a brand. Okay, so I'm going to go in here first, and we're going to look at, we're going to go through chapter 1 so that we won't be so, but you don't, far behind. Let me see here. We're not actually going to be far behind, but let me get in here where I've got the right thing open. Okay, so this actual chapter is the one that is the introduction to all of social media marketing for the whole semester. So this is going to give you an overview, and then what you're going to notice is chapters 4 through 10 are going to be whole chapters on each one of the tools, and talks to you about really using those in Mimic Social. So you will almost be finished with up through chapter 10 before we start Mimic Social. We won't quite be that far, but we'll be close. So we're going to start Mimic Social in week 3. All right, so here, after reading this chapter, here are the things that are going to be covered in this chapter. Has anyone already gone through this chapter? You have? Okay. So there's a lot of statistics in here that you may or may not have been aware of. And you'll notice that they've updated them for 2019, which is pretty cool, because that was something that I had last semester. I would say, you know, that's an old statistic. Well, they have, this particular book was updated in June. So it is a current textbook. So this is talking about the evolution of social media and what has happened, and some of the statistics there of what they expect to happen. But it took nearly 75 years for the telephone to reach 50 million people. But look, now the game Angry Birds hit 50 million users in 35 days. Pretty amazing, huh? So all of these things just are moving so fast. And, you know, like even what's happening in all of the world, in our government, in law enforcement, everything, you can't do anything without believing that somebody might be there filming you, right? And it has changed our society immensely, and it all goes straight up on social media, how it's affect our political, the way politics is run. I'm sure all of you have been aware of all the lawsuits going on, Facebook, and how it affects different of these social media outlets. And if you're not aware, this is going to open your eyes to a lot of things that you may just think, oh, social media, I'm going to do Snapchat and then it's gone in 10, what is it? 10 seconds or something like that. That's not true. Anything that you put out there is there forever. Somebody can find it. So I've told students forever about this. And the thing is that students don't realize that that's happening, or they really don't care. Most of them tell me they don't care, but you will one day, because a potential employer, they're going to search your social media before they hire you. And even if there's things that you've done in your elementary years and you put it on social media, it's still there and they can find it. And so you have to, hopefully you mature in your late 20s and 30s sometimes not. And then you look back and you say, I can't believe I did something that stupid. So I could do all those stupid things, but nobody knew when I was in my 20s because there was no such thing as social media. So just remember that everything that you do out there, it follows you. It's your digital track, your digital footprint. It goes everywhere. So today, more than half of the world's population uses the internet, with more than 4.38 billion people online. We are social. Even more staggering is an increasing rate of online activity takes place on mobile, with 67% of the world's population using mobile devices. In fact, in 2015, time spent on mobile apps surpassed time spent watching TV for U.S. consumers. Today, 25% of smartphone owners between the ages of 18 and 24 state that they cannot recall the last time their mobile phone was not next to them. Can you recall the last time you went without your phone? Maybe you broke it. That's probably the only time. Anybody know? Anybody been without their phone recently? How long? It died. Okay. What about you?
I got cut off from like calling and stuff like that, so I can't really use it anyway.
Oh, are your parents or something?
No, it's just like the bill.
Oh, the bill. Okay. Yeah, the bill gets big. What about you? You broke it. Okay. So it wasn't voluntary. And yours isn't voluntary either, right? So now you're probably on it because you're at school where there is a computer, right? You just don't have your phone. Who else? Who else has been without theirs? Oh, I'm the worst, but I have students and they go crazy if I don't answer. I get probably 150 emails at least a day from students, besides all the other garbage trash I have to sort through. So I have 6 email addresses, and they all are for specific other schools or other things that I do. So it's something that I know my kids, even they tell me I've grown. My youngest is 21 and my oldest is 43, and I have one in the middle. But some of them, the boys especially, the guys, they cut theirs off no problem at night. They tell me, hey, mine goes on sleep and I don't care who calls, they're not going to get me. So those are things. Mine goes into that sleep mode now. They've done that for our health. And those are things that. But everything is on this device, and so people, they're good, but they're also can be damaging. It's changed our life so much. So you can't even. I know I don't do basic tasks, simple math. You got it on your phone. Everything you can, even with you all, which I didn't have for years and years, is you can just ask a question and you get the answer. It's just crazy. I can sit on my couch and I got one of those Google Home things, and I can just say, hey, Google, when did Robert Redford do such and such movie, And it's just amazing because you don't have to look up anything. It's all done for you. And, it's not always been that way. Can you recall the last time, oh, this is where it's telling you that your phone was not within earshot. And here it tells you the percentage of people that can't even recall when. So here, fueled by the increase of internet usage and mobile devices around the world today, nearly 15 years after Mark Zuckerberg founded the Facebook in his college dorm room at Harvard University, social media has grown by leaps and bounds. What was the one before Facebook? MySpace. Anybody use MySpace? No, you did? I remember when it was 10 times bigger and everybody said, nobody will ever do Facebook. That's ridiculous. You know, you can't do near as much. And then no time, Facebook never left. So by the beginning of 2019, this is a brand new statistic, the total number of active social media users reached 3.484 billion, representing over 45% of the world's population. From these statistics alone, it is clear that social media is everywhere and it is not going away anytime soon. So here is a new chart as of January 2019. Total population is 7.676 billion, and there it says 56%. I can't tell what that word is. I don't know what that word is. Oh, that's, I don't know what that word, it's really little, isn't it? This is actually a chart by Hootsuite, which we're going to look at too. So this is how mobile users and internet users, active social media users, and mobile social media users. Look, there's not much difference between those two because most everybody uses their phone now. Okay, it's telling you where it retrieved that data. So as a social media as a marketing disruptor, so it's changed totally how we market. If you take principles of marketing, you'll get the concepts of marketing the way it's always been and what has changed. Because it used to cost so much money for billboards, for everything, which people still do all of that. But people that are the most successful know how to leverage social media. And social media, you can buy ads that cost you, but you can do a lot of marketing without even purchasing ads. And that's what you're going to see here. So it says here, today the average user spends 2 hours and 16 minutes each day on social platforms, which equates to 1/7 of their waking lives. In fact, time spent on social media is up nearly 40% from 2014. So here's how much time the daily averages are. YouTube, 40 minutes, which that's probably a lot more now because a lot of people do that instead of TV, right? Because cable and everything is so expensive. Facebook is 35 minutes, Snapchat 25 minutes, Instagram 15 minutes, Twitter 1 minute. Time spent on social in a lifetime. Look at that. So 5 years, 4 months on social media in your life. I bet it'll be more than that. Across a lifetime, just these platforms amount to 5 years and 4 months spent on social media. So it shifted the way people communicate and interact. You know, a lot of young people, they can't even talk face-to-face to people because they're afraid. I mean, because they can talk through social media and they can say anything they want and nobody's there to hit them back, right? So those are things that have really changed, and some of it's good and some of it's not. So just like with everything, if the more technology we have, we realize we can't do without it. And of course, people always find the ways to use it. That's not so good. So it shifted the power from the businesses to the consumer. So it's consumer driven. So now the way marketing is, you have to know the analytics to what the consumer is doing. And you are a consumer, and that's what has changed. It used to be the other way around. Now there's a YouTube here that we're going to watch about a guitar business. Dave Carroll, after Carol's $3,500 guitar was damaged on a United Airlines flight. He spent 9 months fighting to recover the cost of the damages from United Airlines before he took to the internet to tell his story. Have any of you guys seen this or heard about it? There's a pretty good story here. We're going to watch this one.
Flew United Airlines on my way to Nebraska. The plane departed Halifax, connecting in Chicago to O'Hare. While on the ground, a passenger said from the seat behind me, "My God, they're throwing guitars out there." The band and I exchanged a look, best described as terror at the action on the tarmac, and knowing whose projectiles these would be. So before I left Chicago, I alerted 3 employees who showed complete indifference towards me. United, you broke my Taylor guitar. United, somebody help you are. You broke, you should fix it. Your lie just ended. I should have flown with someone else or gone by car. 'Cause United breaks guitars. When we landed in Nebraska, I confirmed what I suspected. My Taylor had been the victim of a vicious act of malice at O'Hare. So began a year-long saga of pass the buck, don't ask me, and I'm sorry, sir, your claim can go nowhere. So do all the airlines people from New York to New Delhi, including kind Miss Earlwig, who says the final word for them is no. I've heard all your excuses, and I've chased your wild gooses, and this attitude of yours, I say, must go. United, you broke my Taylor guitar. United, some big help you are. You broke and you should fix it. Your life just ended. I should have flown with someone else or gone by car. 'Cause United breaks guitars. Well, I was never fly with you again, baby. Just say the word I promised. And if it did, I wouldn't bring my luggage. 'Cause you just go and break it into 1,000 pieces, just like you broke my heart. When United breaks guitars. United, you broke my Taylor guitar.
Okay, so what do you think happened? It's just the end of that says, hold on. No Taylor guitars were harmed in the making of this video. Oh, okay, so what do you think happened? What was the result of this going viral? Think it caused anybody any harm? Yes, what do you think? Yes, United Airlines. Anybody know what happened?
They got sued.
They got sued, and within 4 weeks of the video being posted, their stock fell 10%, costing the company $180 million because of this video going viral. So do you think it's a good thing? Because it's a good way for people to get their whatever their complaints are out there, right? So how has it shifted the power then from businesses to consumers? Do you have an example where that maybe happened to you? Anybody? No? Anybody make a YouTube video that went viral? No.
Well, I mean, there's a YouTube video of my brother that went viral at one point.
What was he doing? Was it for a purpose of
Well, it was from the news. That's why it went viral.
oh, it
because
was
it's
on the news. On the news.
It's still on YouTube. It would take me a while to find it, but
Okay.
he was about 3 or 4. He got attacked by a lynx at the Little River Zoo,
Oh.
and it was really bad that we sued them, and they had to shut down for good. And they have been shut down for years. And that happened, it was either in 4th or 5th grade.
Oh, and it was on the news. So it wasn't really social media, but it was a way that you got it out that it was not a good place.
Yeah.
So you see how it has really changed, because that guy, he's probably, he's not famous by any means, but he was able to, you know, get something done. Now, whether he got any money, I don't know. I'm not for sure. So there's a term. So what has happened is consumers have begun to be content creators for brands. And so there's a term called user-generated content, which refers to any digital content that is produced and shared by end users of an online service or website. In fact, consumers trust content from their peers more than they do any other form of marketing communication. And I was working with Hudeberg for about a year. I had a student doing an internship there, and you know what, one thing that before a person normally buys a car, they're going to look at reviews. Before you go to a hotel, don't you look at the reviews? And you probably, you know, no matter what the hotel people tell you, you're going to believe more what the personal reviews are. And so businesses, one of their major things, like Hudeberg, was trying to get people to review their product if they had a good experience. And so they are so important now, and there's a lot of software even out there. Has anybody ever heard of Podium? Podium, if you ever listen to Fox News, it's advertised on there all the time. But Podium is a piece of software that they have at Hudeberg, and it actually makes it really easy for you to write reviews immediately. So those are things that companies really are trying to get people to do, is to write reviews. This is another one that I want you to look at, but you can look at these when you're going through the chapter. So let me, we got about 5 minutes left, so I wanted to at least give you an introduction to that personal growth, which is an assignment that you'll work on after you read chapter 2 and take the quiz. But I wanted to go ahead, because it's kind of a lengthy type of an assignment and it's worth quite a bit. So there's a little video here, and there's a worksheet in chapter 2. When you get in there, that is personal brand worksheet is what it's called. And so you will read chapter 2, and then it will tell you how to complete that. And you will complete parts 2 and 3. The guidelines are in chapter 2, and you follow the instructions. And here's how it is laid out. Defining your personal brand as an important step in your career as a student and a potential employee. And 2 of the most important places that you are really the one most important is your LinkedIn account. And as a student, you want to start filling that profile out and making it complete. And chapter 2 tells you, and then there's 2 other chapters where you do these LinkedIn and Twitter. These are going to be your own personal one, not personal. What I mean is, if you don't have a LinkedIn account yet, this tells you how to set it up, but you don't have to do this by week 3. The part that I want you to do by week 3 is part 1. So when you submit this document at the end of week 3, you will only have part 1, and then you may have you need to have at least set up your LinkedIn if you don't have one. And a Twitter account you might want to open. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be the one that you currently have if you use your Twitter account a lot. And you just want to start branding an account that employers will look at, because they're going to look at your Twitter when you try to get hired. And so you want, if you have a Twitter that you've had since even high school, you may want to have a different Twitter account that is the one that is your professional Twitter account. But there's another chapter that talks about that. So the main thing that I want you to do is understand what personal branding is. And that will be covered in chapter 2, which is due before the personal brand document is not due by next class period, but the quizzes on chapter 2 and 1 and 2 are. Because if you'll notice what I did, and this is how I'm going to work this class, is because we started on Wednesday, basically, our week will go from Wednesday to Tuesday. So Tuesday at midnight, all the stuff that's due for week 1 is due. And that's the 26th, I believe. I believe that's what date I put on here.
You put the 27th.
27th that's the Tuesday. I first was going to do it on Monday, and then I thought, that's crazy because we don't meet till Wednesday. So you have till midnight Tuesday night to submit those, and you can submit them after that. It's just that you get late points off, okay? So that's how, and it automatically does it. So anyway, that is where you'll do 1 and 2 and have those submitted before class on next Wednesday. And then if you've started, you'll know what to do with the personal brand sheet. And so we'll go back over and talk about some of those, and I'll probably give you an introduction to chapter 3 also. Okay, so that's, there they go again. Okay, so any questions? Anybody have any questions? All right, and Stu Kent, let me see, you two guys that are having trouble, if I don't get let me see if I got an email back. Preston, yeah, here's one right here. Hi, Donna. I've looked up both of those students and just want to confirm that they are using the correct email. Oh, Brandon, you logged in with your Gmail account. Says the email we have for Brandon Lee is brandonlee00@gmail.com. He has an account but hasn't paid for the materials. I'm not seeing Sydney as enrolled in the course, let alone having an account on our system. If I could get the email that she thinks she used to double check our records. Okay, so I will email him back what you used your student email, and Sydney, you used your Raider email?
Yes.
Okay. Sydney, it's Sydney-long@raider.rose.edu, right? And you paid for it, right?
Yeah. That's why we did it.
And you did too, Brandon? Did you pay for yours? Okay, well, try creating it again with the rate. What did you think you paid it with? You paid for it with a card or okay, well, they have your account, but they have it as a Gmail. So when you create your account, you have to use that Gmail address. That's what the problem is, why it's not taking your password. And they don't even have Sydney, and so let me send this one. Okay, just be sure when the rest of you, if you have not done your account yet, that you use your Raider email, okay? Because it ties you to this course that way. So let me see what they want you to do, Brandon. See you guys next time. Oh, let me get this. I've got to get this call real quick. Yes.
So since I took the
Digital marketing.
No, this class, social media in the summertime, then pass. I just
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so that's why.
Why did you just go in there and all this? Why did you not do? I don't even remember.
I don't know. but I'm just taking the class again. But
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
shouldn't
want
have
to
to
I
buy
didn't
it.
want to buy the
No.
thing again, but the quizzes, the dates.
Did
and the
you take
quizzes.
the quizzes?
Yeah, I took them, but the dates
Okay,
on
then
them-
I'll go in and transfer those grades from the quizzes back in there.
Okay.
But then I need to look back in there and see what you didn't do. Let me
Okay.
see if it'll let me get to.
All the way.
He's telling me. Okay, let's see. Sydney, I will email you back as soon as I find out, as soon as he emails me again. Because I sent him what, or did I send it? Let me make sure I sent it.
That's me. Make sure I send it.
Okay, there's, especially since you paid for it. Let me see here. Yeah, I sent them yours, so he should be letting me know shortly. If not, I can call him too. I need to look in there and then I'll get
For sure.
in touch with you and
Thank
see
you.
what all you did. I didn't realize that was the case with you.
Yeah,
Ethan.
sorry.
Oh, she's just waiting for me, right?
Yeah.
And-
What do you want me to do about those assignments if I don't?
Oh,
I
don't
should
worry,
get it
I'll
by
extend the day. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you should get it right away. Oh no, you're not gonna be like, no, he's real good to get back with me. Where did Brandon? You're not Brandon. I don't know where he went. Because I need to get his figured out. Okay, I need to get his figured out too. Okay, what question did
Thank
you
you,
have?
ma'am.
Sure, Sydney.
I was just wondering because so I didn't really get how we would submit the assignments and where we got the assignments from.
Okay, so you have to go into Stukent, and that's where you take the quiz. Okay.
I was looking at Canvas the whole time.
Well, Canvas is where you submit it, but here on chapter 1, there's actually nothing to submit. See, it says submitting nothing. So where you go is over here, and in chapter 1, there's a chapter 1 quiz right here.
Okay, I haven't bought that yet.
Okay, yeah,
Yes, I
you
know.
can't do those assignments till then. And so when you do this one, it will, I will have to take the grade, like here I have some people that's taken it, one person did. And so there's her grade. So I will take those grades and I put them over in Canvas, okay?
Okay, so we just read out of chapter 1, take the quiz, and then
Uh-huh.
you put it into Canvas. We don't need to submit it into Canvas, right?
No, not that one. Now, the one that is chapter 2, there's also an expert session here. And so when you're over here and you go to chapter 2, there was an expert session down here, see? And so with it, you take, you watch it. Here's where the quiz is. You watch the video, click here to take the quiz. And so once you take this quiz, it'll give you a score up here at the top, and you take a screenshot of it.
Okay.
And then you take that, you know how to do a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you take that screenshot, and over here, let me go to students so it'll show me what I was calling up a while ago. When you're in student view. Okay, and when I go down here to chapter 2, it has a submit button. And so you'll submit that screenshot of that quiz there.
Okay.
So expert sessions are the only ones that you submit. The others that are taken inside Stukent that are part of the chapter, those are inside Stukent.
So the only ones I need to actually go to Canvas to submit are the expert sessions.
That's correct.
Okay.
And then whenever we have assignments like that personal brand that I was talking about, but I'm going to talk about that again, that assignment will be on a document, on a typed out, and then you'll submit it.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Mike, this is Donna Wilson. Have you been trying to call me? Yes. Really? How did she fall on Western? Did they go ahead and check her into the ER or what? Was she okay? Y'all just did that for precaution or? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I was in class. I'm a teacher. So, okay, I'll get there. All right. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, I gotta go.
You don't have class at the moment, do you?
No, I have to go though. I have somebody in the emergency room. I just found out. A family member.
What do you mean, you want to-
Sure. Oh yeah, you can stay in here. Dang it.